Trump just signed an executive order attacking gender-affirming care for trans youth. The executive order, titled Protecting Children from Chemical and Surgical Mutilation, orders all federal agencies to cease all funding for gender-affirming care for those under 19 years old. The order specifically attacks access of gender-affirming surgeries, hormone therapies, and puberty blockers for trans people under 19. It does not, however, target giving puberty blockers to cisgender children who have been safely taking them since the 1980s. It's important to note that most only recommend surgery for those over 18, and a recent study found that only 0.04% of trans youth over 15 received top surgery if they meet specific criteria. That is also that their parents, psychiatrists, and doctors all have to agree as well. And no one under 15 has received a gender-affirming surgery. It calls transgender care maiming and states that children will soon regret being trans, even though, according to many studies, only 1% of trans people regret gender-affirming care, which is far less than almost every other medical procedure. The executive order continues by attacking WPATH guidelines. It also asks the HHS to publish a review based on phony science that calls trans people identity confused. It also states that any agency that provides research grants, including to medical schools, will no longer receive federal funding if they continue to provide care to trans youth. This will essentially ban trans-affirming healthcare for people under 19 in most top-tier hospitals, unless the hospitals comply. This order also ends coverage of gender-affirming care for youth for all government health insurance plans for all federal employees. It also asks the DOJ to investigate trans care as female genital mutilation. It also suggests using the Parental Kidnapping Act to target trans sanctuary states. And it asks all states to strictly enforce all current gender-affirming bans that are already in place. This will likely be challenged in court within the 60 days that the order gives agencies to comply. But it's clear that Trump's goal is to use every tool at his disposal to ban trans-affirming care, even though every major American medical institution, including the American Academy of Pediatrics and the American Medical Association, support gender-affirming care as medically necessary and life-saving for transgender individuals. Never forget that who you are is valid, and no executive order can change who you are.